Y'all, I am in complete and total shock right now. Although I knew some of these characters would act this way, they have really shown their true colors this week. Let's get into it. These two are notorious for getting on my nerves and yours, and apparently we are here once again. I told y'all. That's all I'm going to say. I told y'all that she never wanted him from the beginning, and now we have full proof. He has finally told her, well, he got caught. Okay. Derek gets caught by Ashley standing up, not running, walking, jogging. He's standing up out of his wheelchair, which means that he has progressed in his physical therapy and is most likely going to be able to walk again. So at first, Derek wanted to surprise Ashley at the altar during their wedding with his miracle that he can now walk. Not a good idea. And thankfully that's not what happened, okay? Because we all know she definitely would have became runaway bride if that would have happened. But instead, he was caught by Ashley standing up. And at first she's all happy, "Oh my god, this is a miracle." Then she decides to snowball into this, "Well, how long have you known? How long have you been progressing?" Which turned into, "You've been lying and manipulating me the whole time," which resulted in her giving him his ring back and breaking off the engagement again. Now, this is complete and total proof for anyone that was in disbelief with the fact that Ashley does not want to be in a relationship. If anything, she doesn't want to be married at all, especially not to Derek. Because the way that she reacted to this was completely insane. Anyone that was in love with somebody and fully loved someone and really wanted to be with them for the rest of their lives would have been so excited that they're in the process of making a full recovery that they wouldn't even care about the process, right? She's decided to go in on, "I've been bathing you, taking care of you, and all you've been doing is watching me." Okay, let's not make it seem like he was never injured. Okay, he really was paralyzed. And let's get on you for a second, Ashley. Y'all were completely done. As a matter of fact, he was in the process of getting over you when he came into the hospital because of his incident. And instead of leaving him alone or even giving friendship or a helping hand, you decided to propose to this man on his sick bed. How sick is that? If you want the definition of selfish, look it up in the dictionary, and I promise you, Ashley's face will be plastered across the entire page because that's exactly what she is. Okay. You proposed to him after he was finally getting over you. He brings up the fact constantly that you're still making these googly eyes and obviously still have feelings for Andre, but you constantly deny him. You call him crazy. You gaslight him for bringing it up every time. Then Andre gets married. And instead of being excited for him, you side eye him every time, every chance you get, you're side eyeing him. You're questioning their marriage. You're questioning him. And the moment you and Derek run into a problem, your thought, your first thought is, "Oh, let me call Andre." Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And now we can pretty much add homewrecker to the list because the fact that his marriage was nothing to her, she had no problem throwing herself at him and even asking him, "Hey, do we still have a chance?" He is fully married. He's not dating, engaged. He is a married man. And whichever way that he was going to react, it was going to be a problem with the fact that she asked him at all. Okay, Ashley, you are completely out of line. It's insane how quick she texted that man. She didn't even care about Naomi's feelings. The fact that Naomi was like, "Hey, okay, this is part two for me. I already had a friend that took one of my parents, broke up their marriage. So let's not have another one do that." And she still attempted. "Oh, Naomi, I would never." Derek, I hope you're through. I hope this is enough to show you that Ashley has never cared about you and probably never will. Okay. This whole notion of, "Oh, I gave everything and it still wasn't enough." No, Derek. No, she never really wanted you. So please let this go. I think it's so messed up. Remember the fact that she doesn't care where you lay your head, okay? The fact that she's acting like this whole thing was a lie. We saw him come in. We saw him get the surgery. We saw him not being able to move his legs. The fact that he can move them now means that there's been an improvement, not that he's been lying and conniving and lying to her the whole time. Not the case. But she won't see it that way because she wants her way out. Period. So Andre would be dumb to leave Danny and go to her just for her to have her taste and then be done with him. At the end of the day, there's so many words that we can use to describe Ashley: selfish, oblivious, homewrecker, conniving, liar, manipulator, gaslighter. I mean, the list goes on and on, right? So for Derek and Andre's sake, I hope they both leave her alone. So then maybe she can have a little self-reflection and understand how messed up she's been in this situation. Well, Ted officially has 3 people calling him dad, and Kat ain't having it. And honestly, I'm with her. Okay. Now hold on. Now hold on. Eva has every right to call Ted dad, for sure. Okay. I still feel like we need another DNA test, a real one, but I digress. At this point, everybody believes that she is his blood, so she should be able to call him dad. My biggest issue is the fact that Ted did not have this conversation with his other 2 kids before he made this proclamation. All Ted had to do was have a real conversation with Kat and enlighten her with what he was going to say to Eva, whether before or after he had the conversation with Eva. Because having the conversation with Eva was warranted, for sure. She should have that satisfaction to be able to call him dad. I mean, that's the whole point of her being back in his life or being in his life at all, right? Because this is the first time that they're actually living as father and daughter. So it's definitely warranted for her to be able to call him dad, but Ted should have had this conversation with both of his kids, Martin and Kat, before he allotted this to Eva. Now, Kat's reaction to seeing Eva call Ted dad was childish and bratty. But as the only daughter of my dad, still warranted. Okay. I don't care. Even at my big age, if I was just chilling in my dad's office at his job and the woman that I've been beefing with constantly, that has slept with my boyfriend, that has constantly been conniving to my family, is frolicking and calling him dad, I'm lashing out too. I don't care. I don't care, bro. You can't have it both ways. You at least have to have the conversation with me as your daughter, as your standing daughter, as up until this year, your only daughter, right? You had to have the decency to have the conversation with me. So I get, yes, Kat was being a brat in those moments, but it was warranted. And I hope that Ted doesn't just brush that over. He needs to have a real conversation with all 3 of them now for them to know, hey, I love all 3 of you. You're all my children. Nothing is going to change. Although everything has changed, he could at least do that. Now, leave it up to Leslie. This will be the new family portrait. And I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. Ted messes up every time he gives Leslie a centimeter, okay? Not an inch. He gives her a centimeter, okay? And it's like, show her a drop of kindness. And now she thinks that y'all are back on the marriage track. And it is mind blowing to me how delusional she really is. But he needs to be practical and smart and not give her the centimeter. Okay? Him having that conversation with her to tell her that he's going to tell Eva to call him dad. Why? Why did you even need to bring her in on the conversation? Y'all don't need to co-parent, okay? Eva is a grown woman. And even Eva is dedicated to unraveling those knots in her mother's brain every time she starts to tie them together. Eva has constantly, I'm not a big fan of hers, but at least she's ready to pop Leslie's bubble every time she starts to float into fantasy world about her and Ted living happily ever after. Because it's not going to happen. And the only person that can burst that bubble and keep it deflated is Ted. You can't be hugging her every time you see her. You can't be smiling and cheesing and being flirty and charming. You can't do all of that, okay? Now that Eva is finally on a good place with Ted, this is the time for them to cultivate their relationship and for him to separate himself from Leslie. Okay. There's a reason why Eva is in the middle in this picture because she is the only connection. And although Ted understands that in his brain, Eva understands that in her brain, Leslie does not understand that. It's not clicking, Steven. And y'all need to stop whatever this is. Okay, because no. Once again, Ted was smiling way too hard. That's his problem. Okay. He's always cheesing and thinking that, oh, I'm just being nice to people. No, it's seen as flirting. Okay. And Shanice is way smarter than this. There's no way that this is going to be a thing. Okay. She looks at Ted. She should be looking at Ted as like an uncle, right? And even though him and Nicole are no longer together, there's no opening for these two to be together. I don't like it. I'm not here for it. Put her with Carlton. Put her with Carlton if we're going to do that, right? Because my only issue with Carlton was the fact that he was all over Nicole, yet he has all of this history with them. But he don't have no history with Shanice other than the workplace. I mean, yeah, you shouldn't be dating your coworkers. But, I'd be okay with them getting together. But this, no. Absolutely not. And if Leslie gets a wind of this and goes after Shanice, I'm going to really have a problem. Y'all better protect Shanice at all costs, okay? Which means this should never happen. The way that Martin approached Kat was completely out of line and straight up disrespectful. I was hurt for her watching that conversation. I mean, the little conversation that it was, because she barely got any words in. He chewed her all the way out about this whole Samantha situation. And I'm just as flabbergasted as her, okay? Yes, her having the conversation about her sex life to Chelsea while Samantha was even in the room was a bit much, right? But according to her and Chelsea, she was still at the bar getting menus, right? So who even knew that she heard it? But the biggest thing is they didn't plant the seed. They may have watered it a little bit, but that seed was already there. Okay? She had already caught Samantha and the boy together in their house in the beginning. And I stand behind her with not telling Martin about that either because Samantha fessed up to it. She talked to Samantha, told Samantha she had to tell her dad, and she did. Period. Great Auntie Award goes to Kat. And everything that she was saying was real. Okay. Kat is a great role model for Samantha. She kept her virginity for a very long time until she was fully in her adulthood and in love with someone. She's respected herself. She's a good businesswoman. She's family that actually loves her. Like, if anyone should be talking to Samantha about these things, it's Kat. It's crazy how Martin just completely flew off the rails and went off on her and blamed her for Samantha being caught with that boy. That's insane. That's insane. Kat would not have been able to stop her at all. It was already in her brain that's what she wanted to do. So Martin putting all the blame on Kat is just him projecting and him lashing out because he knows that his hold on Samantha is slipping, if not gone, right? Because now the fact that he got her fired from Chelsea Cat, the fact that he said, "Oh no, she's not working with you guys anymore." Insane. That was the one thing she had to hold on to. And now he's taking that away. Her being around Kat and Chelsea is definitely amazing for her as a woman, as a young woman, and as an up and coming model. And Martin squashing all of that is going to do nothing but make Samantha hate him. Thankfully, Samantha does have her brother in this situation, and I think that they're going to get each other through this. I do hope that Terrell is honest with Samantha about the conversation that he had with that boy, because she needs to know that he's already talking about her like a piece of meat. And that's not going to change. If anything, it's going to get worse if they, go any deeper in that relationship. So I do think Tyrell should tell Samantha about that. But also, I think that it's beautiful how he has been there for her from the very beginning of this. Okay. It really does show that they love each other and they take care of each other. And I do love them as siblings. I am interested to see how June is going to react when she sees them at Orphe Jean's, what that conversation is going to look like. Hopefully, she's truthful with them, and this leads to a conversation about their father, because I definitely think this is the moment for her to talk about how they came to be. One of my theories is that their father is just like the guy that Samantha is going after, right? Maybe him and June were high school sweethearts and she got pregnant their senior year, and he was supposed to go off and get in the NFL or go to college with football credits and things like that. But all of that fell through, right? So now he's at home trying to work a regular job, miserable, thinking that he's better than the life that they're living. So they turn to drugs. Him before her, or maybe her before him, I'm not sure. But once they have Tyrell and Samantha, they're both strung out. And maybe he dipped right after she got pregnant again. Who knows what the story is? But this is the time for them to dig way deeper into June's past and their past, so that they can really see what the root issue is with Samantha and rectify that, okay? Because she's not going to stop liking boys. She's not going to stop wanting to have sex. She's a growing woman, okay? She's a young woman. These things are conversations that need to be had, right? That's not going to go away. Just making it like, oh, we don't need to talk about it, you're too young, that never works, okay? So hopefully she gets some truth in all of this, and it leads to some type of healing for her and everyone. Well, these two seem to be really solidifying this marriage, and I'm here for it. I love how they really make each other happy and they're really truthful with each other. It's showing to be a strong relationship and marriage for the both of them, which I was not expecting, but I'm happy that we're here. I'm so proud of Andre. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of Andre for the way that he reacted with Ashley. He could have he could have done what he wanted, honestly. That even could have led to them being in bed, which would have been completely disgusting on both of their parts, okay? But I'm so glad that he put Ashley in her place, told her, "I'm falling in love with my wife. We're going on a honeymoon. Leave me alone. That's not happening." Thank goodness. Now, hopefully there's no lingering thoughts in his brain like, "Oh, well, maybe." Cut that. You're with Danny, you're staying with Danny. Period. Now, I do hope that he tells her. Okay, let's keep that same energy. We've been truthful with every Ashley Bill situation that they've had from the very beginning of this relationship, especially once they got married, right? So, this is the time for him to tell her, "Hey, Ashley told me that I have an open door and I told her, close it." Okay, he needs to be honest about this situation. Is this going to set Danny off? Probably. Probably, but at least it'll strengthen their relationship and continue that truth that they have going through their marriage. I really hope that that's what happens with that conversation. I'm so excited that they're actually doing the photo shoot. I think it's very big of Andre for him to, agree to this. You can see that he was very nervous about it, but Danny calmed him down in a very steamy photo shoot scene. I had to make myself small because it's not even about me. Do you see that? Do you see that? Oof. But also we're seeing the depths of them, right? That moment of him talking to her about his parents, us getting a little deeper in his brain when it comes to the memories that he has with his parents, but also the fears that he have with the happily ever after and loving someone forever and knowing that forever could end tomorrow, right? That is a constant battle for him. And the fact that Danny was open and receiving to that conversation also shows that she does love him and she does want to be the strength for him. She wants to be that rock for him like he is for her. And that's definitely beautiful. Now, do I feel that something else is still bothering Andre? Yes. Yes, I do, actually, because he still showed a little bit of concern when it came to him being on camera and being a part of this huge, massive photo shoot, spread, this magazine, this whole shebang, right? Millions of people are going to see him. So I'm still questioning what else is the problem. Are you on the run, Andre? Is someone looking for you? He mentioned that he was in love before and it didn't work out. How did it not work out? Does he have a kid out there somewhere? Does he have a woman that thought that he went to get milk and is just waiting for him to come back? Who knows? Right? Who knows? Hopefully not. Hopefully it's none of that. And it's really just him being nervous about being in front of the camera as opposed to being behind the camera. But we're just going to have to wait and see. Wow, Vanessa has really lost it. She's really lost it. She's flaunting Joey around Fairmont Crest. They're having lunch and breakfast at the country club. Like, she's really going deep into this relationship. And now she's the madam and manager of his escort service. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it, Vanessa. And it's not going to go well. Some people are saying that she's doing this because she wants to fulfill what Doug was trying to do, which is get Joey taken into jail, into custody. I don't think that was always her motive, but now that Doug is gone and she's not dumb, I do think that she understands that even though Joey jokes about it, there is some truth to him having a hand in Doug's death. Now, maybe she does feel like she needs revenge. Maybe she does feel like she needs to avenge Doug by getting Joey caught up and taken care of with the police. So maybe this is her way of, getting on the inside, getting closer to his money, getting closer to his estates, right? But we're going to have to wait and see. I still don't see it. I think that she's fully still infatuated with him. She obviously still loves sleeping with him. And the fact that he's going to be in her home now is even crazier. I don't know where this is going to go, but it's not going to go well. I can tell you that it's not going to go well. And we're definitely going to see the true colors of both of them because Joey is falling in love. And I think that shows something too, right? We're starting to see a softer side of him through Vanessa. But where's that going to lead? Because we don't know much about his past. We know that he's divorced, but what happened with the ex-wife? Is she going to show up now? Now that Vanessa is trying to be his queen pin, does that mess with the first queen pin's money? Right? Is she going to show up and be like, "Hey, you messing with my coin?" Like where is this really going to lead? I'm starting to think I gave them too much credit as con cousins, right? Because obviously Haley is the brains behind this operation and Randy is the muscle. Okay? Because him telling Joey that they're having an affair, dumbest move ever. Okay? I was completely with her when she went off on him because that's so dumb. That's so dumb. We've already established a relationship with you being a completely different man, some random guy that just helped me when I was having a miscarriage. Why would you go off book? The story was already there. The storyline was already there. And the worst part about it is now it has Joey side-eyeing the both of them. And the bad part about it is the fact that Joey is still an associate of Bill's. Although Bill tries to act, big and bad and, oh, we're not on the same side of history, they really are. And Joey's going to use any information that he has to his advantage. So the moment he thinks that he can use this against them to have an upper hand with Bill, he will. He will, definitely. So we'll see how that pans out. But this is not going well. Okay. Randy just needs to stop thinking and go with whatever Haley says, because if not, he's going to blow the whole operation. And now that Joey is side eyeing him completely, yeah, he's in danger again. He's definitely in danger again, because lest we forget, Joey wanted him gone from the beginning when he tried to run off with that money instead of handling that guy last time to be his last job, right? And then after Doug, he came back and begged Joey's forgiveness. So he's already on thin ice, right? So I'm going to need for him to get it together, stick to the story, and not try to deviate and think on his own, because obviously that's asking too much of him. There's still so much going on in Fairmont Crest. Them getting ready for this Winterfest is definitely ruffling some feathers. Danny asking Bill to host it, wild. Ted giving these big donations and excited to see Nicole in a public place again, also wild. And it still feels a little good. I hope that they're able to have some real conversations. But who's going to be his plus one? Hopefully Eva, because if he brings Leslie, it's going to be completely messed up. And who knows if Leslie's going to be a part of it anyways, because once she finds out that Barbara is going to be a part of the initiative for the donations, I'm sure she's going to elbow her way in. So we got to keep an eye out on that. But there's so much that's going on. Hit me in the comments. Let me know how you felt about this past week. And I'll meet you right here every week beyond the gates.